Netflix released a docuseries about Gabby Petito called American Murder Gabby Petito, and I watched all 3 parts, and I'm going to talk about it in today's video. I feel like there's a lot of things that stood out to me in the docuseries that I just want to talk about. I've also seen some other people do videos on the series after they watched it, bringing up some very interesting points. If you guys would like to check out my Etsy shop, I will have it linked down below. It's where I make my jewelry. I have a bunch of necklaces on there, and I'm about to drop a bunch of handmade earrings that are all different. There are no 2 that are alike, so if you're interested in checking one out, they will be linked in my bio. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get to this video. If you're not familiar with this case, I'll give you just a very brief rundown of it because I feel like most people know about it. Gabby Petito was a 22-year-old girl who had quit her job to go live out in her van in the American West with her boyfriend Brian Laundrie. During this time, she ended up going missing. Brian, her boyfriend, takes the van back to his parents' house. His parents won't talk to the police. Brian won't see the police at all, won't even talk to him. His parents are clearly covering for Brian.
For police department. Yes. How you doing, sir? I apologize for bothering you. I have the detective on the phone.
I'm not talking to anybody.
You don't want to talk to us? Okay, she's on the phone. You don't want to talk to her now?
No.
Okay, when was the last time that you saw Brian and Gabriel?
Well, Brian is here.
Brian is here?
Yeah, and that's all I'm going to say.
I'm trying to figure out something for parents. You guys as parents, you know, all they want is their daughter to know that she's safe. So I don't know where it all started before. I don't know what's transpired. I don't know anything about that. I'm here to know if you guys know anything. It would let the parents at ease and go from there.
Well, we don't know anything.
Okay. Anything that you guys would be able to give them is any type of help? Last time your son saw her, anything like that?
No.
Am I able to talk to your son? Other officer said...
He's not going to talk to
Okay.
He's not going to talk to anybody.
They have to repo the van because it's not even registered to Brian, it's registered to Gabby. So they repo the van.
Well, I'm going to tell you. I'm telling you. The title on the state of Florida is it's only hers.
Okay.
So it's not supposed to be here.
Okay.
So I'm going to take a tow truck and get it. Is a car in the way?
My car, I can move it.
I mean, so you don't have any issue with us taking the van?
If that's what you're saying you got to do, you got to do.
Yeah.
But right now, I'm not speaking to anybody.
Without our attorney. But
Okay.
I can move the car for you.
You don't find that odd that you guys
Good
really...
night. Good night.
Okay.
Don't knock on my door. And
Okay, are you going to move the car?
I'll move it.
Okay.
Gabby's parents had come out and asked the public, please help us find our daughter, because they didn't know what happened to her at this point. Nobody's seeing Brian, but they know where he is, but he's like hiding out in his parents' house like a little... And his parents won't talk to the police because they're clearly covering for him because they clearly know that he murdered this girl. They even got him a lawyer, a very expensive lawyer, because it was obvious that they knew that they were going to have to defend him against murder once Gabby was found.
And that's what you're saying?
Yeah, we have an attorney. They've been calling. I don't know. That's all I want to say. I don't know why so many attorneys are aware.
Okay.
They're calling, so I can give you his number.
Whose number? The attorney's number?
Yeah.
Okay, I would like that, please, so I can give it to the detective. Thank you. Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yep.
And just to let the detective know, is Gabriel here? Or?
No.
She's not here. Okay.
The fellow was here last night.
Yeah. Okay, so is this her vehicle? Her van?
It's both of them.
Is both of them? Okay. All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
I don't even know if they thought that she would ever be found. And to be honest, the way that she was found was absolutely insane. This couple just happened to be driving down this dirt road and filming it. And then the van is on camera, and where they were filming and where the van was happens to be near the location where Gabby's body was found. And so they found her that way.
So immediately I call the FBI because, you know, that's what you're supposed to do. And I call them and I get someone, I'm like, hey, patch me over to a detective. I have Gabby Petito's van.
The whole thing is insane how it all panned out, but they ended up finding her. She had been out there for so long. And then Brian goes missing. So then they're on a hunt for Brian. Nobody can find him, right?
Now missing himself. believed to possibly be somewhere in this Sarasota County marshland stretching 24,000 acres.
You could be out here for months if you wanted.
The FBI and local police leading a coordinated effort. Officials say they were directed to Carlton Nature Reserve after Laundrie's family finally spoke with them, saying they hadn't seen Brian since Tuesday.
And then his mom goes out there, decides, hey, I want to help you. After all this time of me not wanting any involvement, of us not wanting to help you at all, we'll go out there now.
Parents went to the Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park this morning to look for their son. So right now there's a more thorough search for Brian going on in that area. Bertolino says the FBI and Northport police were notified last night that Brian's parents would be heading out there today. Investigators have been searching for him since his parents reported him missing last month.
Investigators found what appears to be human remains.
A huge lead in the search for Brian Laundrie. This morning, the Laundrie family attorney says Brian's parents went to the park, to an area they knew he liked to visit. They met with officers there. Fox News capturing their rendezvous in this exclusive video. Soon after, you can see both parents looked emotional. Authorities found some of Brian's belongings. They set up a tent in the area. Skyfox shows you where they worked throughout the day.
Now, when Brian's body was found, he was skeletal remains. They identified it as Brian's body, even though he was just skeletal remains, by his teeth, by his dental records, and they matched up with Brian. Part of me, wonders if maybe this could have been staged. I don't know anything about staging bodies or decomposed bodies or anything. I don't know anything about that. I don't know anything about teeth. I'm just a girl who makes videos on YouTube, okay? But I can't help but wonder, is there some way that they would have been able to stage this even though his dental records matched up? Like, is that possible? This docuseries also shows some footage of Gabby and Brian that we haven't seen. I feel like this is a really important message to people, that the stuff that you see on social media is not real, because when you go and you watch her one and only video, which, oh God, I'll never be able, I gotta talk about this for a second before I get back into this. It will never not break my heart when I think about the fact that she wanted to be a social media influencer so bad, and she had this dream of like going out and living in this van life, living out of her van and traveling, and she wanted to share that with people in videos and be a content creator. And she was working so hard trying to make videos. She had a drone, she was filming everything they were doing, she was editing it, she was working so hard on it. Like, we've even seen some clips of her expressing, you know, the difficulties in that with her OCD and just everything, trying to get it perfect. She really wanted to be good at this. The fact that she posts one video, it's the only one that she got up, it's still up there to this day, the only video that she ever got to post, and she never got to see it blow up to have like 7 million plus views now, because she was murdered by the guy that she loved. It's so sad. It will never not be sad to me. It breaks my heart because she was such a perfectionist with it. She wanted it to be done so well. And then she loses her life and can't even see it become what it was, and only ever got to do one video. And she was working so hard at it. And she had such a dream and a vision. And a lot of people have dreams and don't go for them, right? A lot of people have dreams and they don't go out there and make their dreams come true. But she was trying to. And the fact that it ended up being this way will never not be sad to me. Like, 22 is so young. It's hard for me to conceptualize that's 12 years younger than me, because 12 years ago was such a different lifetime, it feels like. She had so much life ahead of her. So much. It will never not be sad to me that this happened to her, and by the hands of somebody that she loved. It will never not be sad to me. But anyways, off that, she had a bunch of footage that they show in this docuseries that you didn't see, because again, what people post online for people to see is never the reality of things.
And I think we're going to try and get some work done on the editing. I suck at this.
Everything is curated so that it's entertaining, and it's never quite the way that it is in real life. People are curating images and videos for, you know, people's entertainment. And so we see footage that she cut out of like the struggle of what it's like to sit down and try and film things and the uncomfortability of it, of trying to get things just so. Sometimes when you start talking, you feel stupid or you feel like you're not getting, you know, out what you want to say. That happens to me all the time. Like even with this video, I had to restart what I was saying because I'm so tired. So I had to restart. And so it happens sometimes, and you're seeing the struggles in that footage, but you also see these moments of, a bit of turmoil with her and Brian, like where she's getting frustrated at him on the footage. I've actually seen people say like, oh, we see in this footage that Gabby's the one that's the problem. She's getting mad at him and being snippy with him, this, that, and the other, and he's just sitting there smiling. And I'm like, yeah, he's sitting there smiling. Yeah, because people like him who are abusive and have the potential to murder their girlfriends, when they know that they're being recorded and they know they're being filmed and they know they're on camera, they're going to be fake because they can't be their authentic self. So of course he's going to be sitting there all like, because he knows that if he shows who he really is, that he's not going to be likable. And people like Brian want to be liked. They want to appear like a way that they're not. Its appearance is very important to people like that. So of course he was sitting there smiling like, because it wasn't real. She was being real. That was her in discomfort. His wasn't. We saw that even in the police cam footage where she's crying and distraught and she has markings on her, but he's the one over there laughing and smiling just like haha with markings on him.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just some days I have really bad OCD, and I was just cleaning and straightening up the back of the van before, and I was apologizing to him and saying, I'm sorry that I'm so mean, because sometimes I have OCD and sometimes I just get really frustrated. Not like mean towards him, I just like, I guess my vibe is like, I hear him be like in a bad mood. And I was just saying, I'm sorry if I'm in a bad mood. I've just been really stressed. I had so much work I was doing on my computer this morning. He doesn't really believe that I could do any of it. So that's kind of been like a, I don't know, he's like down there. I don't know, we've just been fighting all morning, and he wouldn't let me in the car before. And then
why wouldn't he let you in the car? Because of your OCD?
He told me I needed to calm down. Yeah. But I'm perfectly calm. I'm calm all the time. And he really stresses me out, and this is a rough morning.
What was up with his driving? This officer said he hit a curb. While you're driving?
Well, he was driving.
While he was driving, you were hitting him? Now from quick question, you said you were hitting him in the arm. Did you grab the steering wheel?
No, I didn't.
You did not touch the steering wheel?
I didn't touch the steering wheel, but only for like a second, because I just saw the lights come on, and it was more just like, you're an idiot. Like, you know.
How are you doing? Good. Hey, we got a call about a male hitting a female and the two of them getting in this vehicle and taking off.
So I don't want to try and defend myself by saying anything here, but I pushed her away. She gets really worked up, and when she does, she swings, and she had her cell phone in her hand, so I was just trying to push her away. But Gabrielle, you're talking about fiance, right? What's that?
And they give him a hotel to stay in for like people who are surviving domestic violence. Give him that hotel and send her away, 22-year-old young girl, in a van by herself. I'm like, she had markings too, though. They saw her as the aggressor in this video. And I'm sorry, but like there needs to be some more education on domestic violence, because the red flag should be the person who's sitting there smiling and laughing like everything's fine, because that's fake. Because it clearly wasn't fine. You're both bleeding. You have bruises. You have marks on you. If this one over here, Gabby, is sitting here bawling her eyes out, crying, can barely get her words out, and this one over here is acting like nothing happened, it's because he has something to hide. She doesn't. Now, another thing that I found to be so interesting, and I'm so curious what you guys have to say, and I feel bad to have any sort of critique towards her family. I want to say this before I even go into this at all. I have so much compassion for them and what they went through. Excuse me, my voice is like cracking. Like it's like, oh, sorry. It sounds like I went through puberty. I have so much compassion for her family and what they went through, and I have such a heart for them, and I feel for them so deeply on the pain that they must be suffering from losing their daughter, their sister, their friend. I can't imagine. Okay, so maybe there's a part of this that I'm just not fully understanding. But in my defense, I have also seen other people question this decision as well. So there's this whole part in the docuseries where they go out to where her body was found and where she was murdered, and they spread her ashes there, and they say that they feel like that's what Gabby would have wanted. I feel that that was a questionable decision because, to be honest, if you try and put yourself in that position that you're scared for your life and then somebody then takes your life, why would you want your ashes to be put where that traumatic, terrible thing happened? That to me was like, what are we doing? Why did they do that? I will never understand that. I would have wanted, her ashes to be like, she was my daughter, to be somewhere there was like a happy place or somewhere she loved or somewhere that made her feel good. I didn't know Gabby Petito personally, obviously, but I have such a hard time believing that where she would want her ashes spread would be where Brian murdered her and left her body like a bag of trash. I don't understand why they left her ashes there. That to me was just weird. I've never heard of people leaving their ashes of a loved one where the murder took place, because that's a very traumatic and sad place to leave them. I mean, I know for me, like if something like that happened to me, I would not want my ashes to be put there. I personally wouldn't have done. I just thought it was a little weird. Let me know what you guys think about that. And also, there's this girl that was friends with Brian that's in this docuseries. So she was friends with Brian first, but also friends with Gabby. And she talks about how Brian and her had a thing and he wanted to be with her, but she didn't want to be with him. I keep seeing all of these videos pop up on my TikTok where people are talking about how they think she's so weird and they feel like something's off about her.
There isn't enough money in the world that would make me admit this on camera, especially during Gabby's murder documentary.
He had left a note in the desk. It said, "You're either my best friend or the love of my life, and I'm too dumb to tell the difference."
Honestly, I feel so bad for that poor girl because it's got to be really hard to put yourself in a position to sit down and do an interview for a docuseries about somebody that you knew that was murdered, but then after the fact, people are like, oh my God, she's such a weirdo. And it's like, maybe she's just trying to process the fact that there was two people that she knows that was involved in this horrific crime and now they're both dead. I mean, maybe that's just me. I just feel like, I don't know. I kind of feel bad for her. She's seeing these videos that keep popping up where people are saying she's so weird, but she didn't actually do anything. Like there's people who are like, I feel like she wanted to be with Brian, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, do you know how actually insane you would have to be to want to be with somebody that murdered their girlfriend? Like I highly, highly doubt that. This docuseries also showed footage from the last time they were seen together. And this was very shortly before she was murdered. You can see Brian get out of the van and he slams the door shut aggressively out of anger. They go inside of this grocery store. Gabby looks like she might be cold or uncomfortable because she's kind of holding herself like this. She's holding everything. She's got all the bags and Brian's just sitting there like with his hands in his pockets. He seems irritated by his body language and she seems uncomfortable by her body language. And it's really sad to watch this footage because this is like some of her last moments when she didn't know what was going to happen to her. I've seen people speculate that maybe her contacting her ex-boyfriend had something to do with it, because in the docuseries, her ex is on there and he talks about how she contacted him once when Brian wasn't near her. Brian had to go back to do something with a storage unit, and she called her ex-boyfriend, talked to him on the phone. It shows that there was trouble in their relationship. It was one of those situations where there was trouble. She was probably going to end up leaving him, but she never got to leave him. I wonder if he found out that she was contacting her ex and got really mad, and if that had something to do with this. My heart goes out to her. My heart goes out to everybody who's been a victim of domestic violence. It's so sad. It's so hard for these women to leave these relationships. And sometimes they end up like Gabby Petito, and it will never not break my heart. Let me know what you guys think about this. Did you watch this docu-series, and what were your thoughts? Before I wrap this video up, if you guys like to check out my Etsy where I sell handmade jewelry, I have necklaces and earrings that are all made by me, and the earrings, there's no two alike. So if you see one that you're interested in, definitely make sure you get it when you purchase something from my shop. You are helping support me in creating this content for you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you soon for another video.